All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had a great day yesterday. And let's see what we have today. Just want to do a quick mic check. Make sure you guys can hear me in the rooms, okay? And we will get going. All right, excellent, sweet. All right, so let's start over here with our stocks from yesterday. So as usual, guys, this is our watches from yesterday. We'll go over these and see how these played out. Here we have our gappers list, looking a little bit lighter than it has been the last couple of days, but that's good. We do have some good ones on here just based on percentages. We'll check out the details on those and see what we have going on there. And then we'll get into our NASDAQ active NASDAQ gainers. Then my man Norm is going to go jump into some news and see what we got going on in that area. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Sorry for the slight delay. Had a uh, I had a bit of an issue and had to restart, so we're all good.
Oh, no
I
worries,
hope you're
man.
doing all right as well.
Yep, doing good, man. Doing good. All right, guys. So let's see what we had yesterday. SIG, man, this stock was just, for me, really untradeable. I mean, this thing was just all over the place. It has some good volume, but it was just every candle just overlapping the next one. This was one that was easy to get caught into some chop, guys. So I just want to show you the 1 minute. After the fact, yeah, we can all say this is choppy, right? But let's look at the 1 minute, just see some of the fake outs we had here. So again, just here looks very strong. That's a nice pullback. You probably think, okay, this is after a few minutes probably going to get going and test these highs again, and then just dumps. Next minute just completely dumps out of nowhere. We got caught in some of this crappiness here. Then it pulls right back up. So you think, okay, maybe it's establishing now, test some of these moving averages, then again, another dump. So again, this thing was just really untradeable. So a lot of people say, well, how do you know a stock is going to be choppy or not? You don't know. You don't have this information here. You don't have anything up here that towards the right here that can give you that information up front. So one of the rules that a lot of traders have is that you get stopped out 2 to 3 times, right? You're done trading that stock. Just move away and try to find something else, and then you can go back and look at a bigger time frame and see how some of the choppiness is building up. So if you get stopped out once, maybe take a small break. If you get stopped out twice, then maybe move to wait for some candles to build up on a larger time frame. And once you start seeing this 5 minutes, like, okay, there's nothing going on here. I mean, it looks like it's trying to hold these moving averages, eventually give you a pop. And once it starts kind of giving you that kind of signal here, is holding, then you get another dump again. So again, just pretty nasty yesterday on SIG. Here's GBT. This one, I actually stopped watching it. I had it here, but once I opened up, didn't really get any volume. It was pretty nasty. I actually didn't see how it traded after that. It was just not clean at all. MU was one of the trades of the day yesterday. This thing was just, look at the power on this thing, right? So we talk about it. It had a great day the day before, and also had a great day yesterday, almost starting with a very similar pre-market activity, right? Very flat, not a lot of volume. I think it was had like 200,000 shares, which is quite a lot. Now today they're pretty low. They're only 38,000 shares, but yesterday they had about 200, I think 178,000, with flat type of activity, but that's great for MU. Look what happens when the volume comes in, 3.3 million shares just in this one candle here at the open. Again, just takes off nicely and hits this level right away. I mean, this thing took off. It didn't really give us a chance to get in on this one, unless you scalped it off the 1 minute, 2 minute. But almost immediately hits the next level we had, 48.64. We talked about that being the next level on MU. And then here doesn't even give us a slight pullback on that same 5 minute candle because it was just so extended. Gives you a small pullback there to take it higher. But again, it's just a very tough trade to take. Usually these type of, when it gets so extended like this, it could be a little worrisome because it can really pull back. You don't want to be the one getting caught in a massive pullback. This one actually turned out to be really strong. And we also just want to show you something. We talk about not shorting strong stocks, right? You want to be very careful. On here, it looks like it's about to lose. You can see how clearly it bounces right from this VWAP and goes up for another leg, breaks the high of the day at that time, and then makes a new high all the way up here. Eventually does a nice double top here, and it starts heading down. But again, you want to be careful. When you see something this strong here, you want to be careful in taking it short. So that was MUC. CIEN. This one was choppy as well, guys. Didn't do good. Had a great pre-market open, right? Has some news that just had finished coming out or something right at the. Oh, they were on a call. I don't remember exactly what it was, but again, just didn't trade very well at the open. It finally settled down and gave you a nice little trend trade towards the top, towards VWAP. But again, not really anything great. Work was really nice, guys. It took a while for this one to get going. Had a nice sell-off here, hit this level 26, and then from there, it's just kind of crawled its way back up. Not quite engulfing the first candle, but from there, it did establish a nice trend above the VWAP. So breaks the VWAP, comes back and tests it for a couple of minutes, almost 15 minutes, and then finally takes off nicely here. Look at this move towards 31 from 26. Again, it's just a beautiful trend trade. If you were looking for that opportunity. Here is Roku, guys. Roku was very active. Actually sold off in the most part of the day yesterday. This thing has been really strong. It's up a bit today, so still on its way up, recovered. But again, this nice engulfing crack that we talk about, this is a beautiful reverse signal. So you see the candle here, the next candle completely engulfs this one, and then that's a great entry for a drop. If you don't want to get in here, you can wait for the pullback. Right, here's a pullback. Here's another entry as well for this type of strategy, and you can see how beautiful this rides down the 9 moving average. Andrew got in on this one short, and he rode it all the way down to 160. I believe 160. Yeah, he wrote it down. He was patient on this one, had his limit orders out here, taking partials on the way down, but this thing dropped really nice and then recovered. CLDR, this one was a little bit wild yesterday. It did drop here. I was actually watching the price action very close on this one. Beautiful drop here, and then from here, it did this very slow. Very slow, but it was able to break the high of the day and head all the way up to 839. So that's a big move, almost from $8 to 839. If you caught that there, also you have a nice engulf in here. It was a great signal. Once it stayed above the VWAP and slowly getting above these moving averages, that was a great entry for long there. So that is what we had yesterday, guys. Let's look at what the SPY is doing this morning and any significant news as we close out this week, first week of September.
Yeah, last few days we've had some rather large gaps in the SPY. Today is an anomaly to that. We are up 0.2%. We had been up a decent amount earlier, but just a few minutes ago we had the August jobs report come out, and unemployment rate remained unchanged at 3.7%. But the payroll numbers came out at a decent amount weaker than expected. People are looking at this jobs report, especially with the market. I don't know if anybody's been paying any attention to financial news or even just mainstream regular news, talking about a potential recession on the horizon and yield curve inversions and tariffs slowing things down and everything else. So people were kind of looking at this maybe as a barometer to see if this is the start of a little bit of a slowdown here, like much of the rest of the world is seeing. That having been said, the August jobs report is notorious for being underreporting jobs and then being revised later because of the number of people. So it's a survey report that the Bureau of Labor Statistics does, and they survey businesses in August to come up with that. Based on the timing of it, it coincides with a huge amount of vacations for people. And so sometimes HR departments don't come back and report until after the reporting period is over, and then it'll be revised in later statements. So it's very possible that's the case, but who knows? We won't know, and you can't bet on that. And one number does not a trend make anyway. It could just be a light number for a variety of reasons. ADP report for private payrolls came out earlier in the week, stronger than expected. So who knows? It works in a different way, so it doesn't get underreported quite the same. So that could be a reason for the disparity in those numbers. Anyway, that is what is going on at the moment. Like Brian's talked about many times, when we have these big up days like yesterday, just big days moving one way or the other, a lot of times we get some chop the next day. Market doesn't quite know what it's doing, what it wants to do. We're sitting just under 300 on SPY again, so kind of at the upper end of the range, and we shall see how it plays out. I will do my best to be a little extra patient this morning because of those factors.
Excellent, guys. Sorry for the background noise. Looks like my APC unit's going off here. Not sure why. Trying to mute it. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, hopefully that does it. Oh, guess not. All right, I'll check that in a bit. All right, guys, so let's get over into our gappers list. See what we have going on here. We have some good numbers. Let's start with DOCU. So DOCU, it is up 22%, 255,000 shares traded this morning. Let's get our daily chart in here. Looks like we have traded this in the past right around this same range because we do have some levels. Yeah, right on here we have some levels around this area. Pre-market activity is a little choppy, a little bit all over the place this morning. Norm, what's the news on this one so far?
Yeah, so they reported earnings after the close yesterday. They missed estimates, but they beat revenues and gave really strong guidance. So if you look at a daily chart going back about a year, you'll be able to see that it had a nice run up and then it's kind of been stuck in a downward trending channel since then. I would say that the bottom end of that bound right now is at probably around 43 and the top end around 54. So it looks to have broken out possibly to the high side of that on this news with this large gap up. We'll see how it runs today.
All right, yeah, this definitely has got a nice little gap up here, 22%, guys. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this. Has some good volume. Pre-market activity a little bit choppy at the moment, but hopefully with this news, it can get going and get a little cleaner. TNAV, it is up 14.2. Oh wow, look at the day yesterday. This thing dropped.
They got annihilated yesterday.
Okay, and it looks like this happened at after the open. So it was not anything in our gappers list, but this thing happened after the open yesterday. So nice, beautiful drop here. So now they're bouncing back a bit, up 14%. 1.2 million shares traded so far. So they have a lot of shares traded at the moment. Looks like it has been. This right here, guys, means you got a few things on here. So the T means that it was halted at one point and then it resumed. You can also see that right here in our trade idea scanners. It was resumed at this time 7:10, and then the SSR means that it's a short selling restriction, and then the .S tells me that I have shares for sure. So this is what all these little signals mean here. All right, so at the moment they're pretty active, guys. 1.2 million shares traded, kind of chopping around between 7 and 638. Again, had a really big day yesterday. This is worth taking a look at. What is the float on this one? And it is a 35 million shares flow, so definitely worth taking a look to see how that's going to play out today. And after a big day, yes, I do expect for something to shake out of that at the open. Lulu is here, LULU. This is up 5.8. I'm assuming they have some good news. That's a big pop for a company that's trading at 190.
Yeah, they reported earnings last night. Once again, they've kind of got a history of this. They beat their earnings, and then on their call, they raised their guidance. So once again, Lulu is strong.
Yeah, and it looks like, are we at all-time high? It looks like we are. Looking at the weekly chart here, we have not been up here. So this is all-time high for Lulu. Again, looking really strong. Had a great day yesterday. You can see hitting at least the resistance on this range. It's been stuck in for the month of August, so that's good. And today we got a nice little pop. It has a good pre-market activity too, guys. This is a great pre-market activity. Look at the volume. Got some decent volume and a nice little flow here with some action happening. So this is good for Lulu. CRWD. So CRWD, this one is the first one that's negative on our list. This is down 5.2 today. I don't like the daily chart on this one at all. We have traded this before in the past. We have looked at it, but look at just the daily chart. It looks so choppy on this thing. Pre-market activity, not all that exciting as Lulu, but we do have some action on here. We do have 135,000 shares traded, but again, just something doesn't look as clean on this one this morning. So they're gapping down 5.2. We're at a level of, you can see some support over the last couple of 2 months at least. You can see an area of support. We're right on there. We did the little lower here. We hit around $76, so we'll see what we can get out of this one today. Next, we have LPT. So LPT is down. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say one thing real quick on Crowd. So keep an eye. Crowd is an $82 stock. It's got less than 20 million float. And it's not huge, but 14% short float to it. On one source I got, and 16.5 short float on the other. So just keep an eye. That might make it a little bit crazy mover.
Yeah, you know what? That probably makes sense. I did not notice that that flow. Thanks, Norm. But yeah, that probably makes sense why this daily chart looks a little funky. All right, just
That's
listen to the guys
exactly,
playing.
yeah, that's
So
exactly why.
yeah, that explains it. All right, so here we have LPT, guys. So LPT recent IPO. I only have 1 day here. Um, this thing just opened today? 9/6. It's funny because usually they don't open this early.
This is an older one. There must be a data issue.
Okay,
I
that
would click on something else and try to reopen it, maybe.
yeah, we'll come back to it.
Um, but I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that on mine as well. But LPT, first of all, anyway, it's a REIT, and it's moving on a secondary offering anyway. So
All right, so we'll skip it anyways. Here we have DOMO. So DOMO, wow, down quite a bit here. So we're down here 34%. This is a huge drop. So looks like we have looked at this one in the past. We do have some levels for this. I'm going to remove them now because we're obviously very far away from this price action. 24.26 was kind of trading within this range here, and overnight we actually looks like after hours last night we had a huge drop here down to 16 or so. Norm, what's going on with this one? This is a very big drop.
yeah, they reported earnings last night. They had a pretty decent loss. They topped the revenue estimates, but their outlook disappoints. And I guess there's one article that I still have it pulled up, and it's titled "Domo Still Can't Explain What It Actually Is," and the stock is getting killed. A year after IPO included promises of bigger customers, software company isn't dishing that path while still struggling to describe its business. So my guess is it had a horrific conference call, and they are getting hammered. This go back to something that'd be interesting to talk about for a second anyway. Everybody knows there have been a lot of high, big name IPOs, Uber's, Lyft, on and on and on. Those are just two that come to my head. Yeah. Domo's one that IPO'd last year. It's been a hot IPO market for these for a while. You're starting to see a lot of these come back down to earth. Beyond Meat has dropped a lot. Just a lot of these companies that we've watched that have been big name IPOs, even the ones that have resumed, even the ones that have run up a good amount, like the ones that you'd be in really good shape have pulled back a lot in the last week or so. So I think that's part of it. The appetite for those with people concerned about economic slowdown is really starting to, the days like of the .com boom, when people would just buy an IPO, have no idea what in the world the company was because they knew that in 3 days they'd open their account and it'd be twice the size. People are getting a little concerned. So I think this is getting hit in that mix that IPO'd, I believe, at the end of last year. And if they don't have a proven business model, people are getting a little bit worried about it.
Yeah, it's got to be some FOMO, man. Everybody's trying to find the next Amazon or something out of these. So, yeah, that is tough. So I see a lot of these recent IPOs all on the way down. So this one's got a big drop today. Definitely worth watching this morning. Pre-market activities got okay volume, not all that great for the drop. I thought it would be a little higher. Only 179,000 shares traded. A little choppy this morning. So we'll see how that develops. RKDA is coming up in our gappers list right on here. Let's see what that monster is up to. RKDA is a low flow stock, guys. This thing is 4 million shares on the float. So it has not gone back down to where it came from, $2. It's still hanging around here on between 6 and 5. So that's decent. So today they have just 100,000 shares, barely making our gappers list. So we'll come back to it, see how this pre-market action develops after hitting our gappers list. I'm sure a lot of people are going to start tuning into that and seeing what can be done there. All right, let's go over NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers, TNAV. We do have, this is not a low flow, by the way. This is over here, 35 million shares flow. It is a lower price stock that had a massive drop after hours, actually during pre-market hours yesterday after the open. So today we're probably going to get some continuation. A lot of shares so far, 1.3 million shares traded. VIVE, penny stock, TVIX, as we know, volatility index, pretty much flat. Next we have NASDAQ ETF, TLT. This doesn't look like a normal stock. What is this? Oh, this is a trust fund, right? I think, yeah, that's what it has on there. Yeah, treasury bonds. So again, not really tradable. Next we have ETFs for Nasdaq. We have AMD down here. AMD, man, it's just I want to see how AMD traded yesterday. We got a little bit of time. Let's go and see how AMD. I did not have it on my list. Just want to see how it's been trading. It's okay, rough open, but actually nice false VWAP fake out here. Beautiful drop following the 9 after 11 or so. So that was a nice little trade there. But again, overall, the open has not been trading well, and this daily chart just shows how nasty has been. I mean, this daily chart is probably the worst I've seen AMD do in a very long time, because we watch AMD quite often. So I'm not going to put it on my list, guys. It does have 288,000 shares traded, but again, just pretty flat. This will be nice to see if it can break out of this 32, which I'm long biased on it eventually. Not today, not next week, but eventually, if it can break out of this 32, we have some really good levels to hit here. 33, 34, which is a good level, and we also have this one all the way up here around 36 or so. So we'll keep watching it, but right now it doesn't look all that great. Next we have DOCU. We have on our list already. This one is gapping up quite a bit. Nasdaq gainer, same thing. DOCU. We have IMUX. IMUX. What do we have here? This looks. Let's get our 5 minute. All right, so this looks a little bit, yeah, no volume, nasty. Next, we have NTGN, 100,000 shares traded, but this stock is not really tradable, guys. More of a penny stock. And also, look at this pre-market activity, just horrible. So we'll stay away from that. TNAV, we do have this move down a bit. ZUMZ, no activity, guys. Only 11,000 shares traded. DRRZ, also same situation. AGTC, even worse. And then Lulu, we have this one has some good volume today. Nice pre-market activity, guys. This is looking really good. Volume hopefully stays up here consistent. That'll be nice. And then we have FLNT, also no volume on this one. Last one, Riot. Wow, Riot is not doing much. Only 8,000 shares traded so far. All right, guys.
Riot block.
Yeah. What do you have this morning?
Oh, well, NVIDIA. I called it for 3 days, what was going on there, waiting for the breakout, and somehow I didn't catch my own trade.
Oh.
So I didn't think it was going to be yesterday, but oh well, it happens. Yep. I did catch a nice trade actually on that yesterday, but I didn't catch the breakout that I had been looking for from the wedge, and it was just absolutely beautiful with, I think it from the very open till the end of the day, it was a nice $6 run that I had a good amount of FOMO on throughout the day yesterday. Yeah. So anyway, Facebook, and now there was an announcement this morning that I believe it was New York that is filing an antitrust suit on them. So they had a big run yesterday as well, and have been running. Actually, it's been a couple of days. They've been running from the low 180s up to 190. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, see if it gives any kind of a pullback. Apple had a big run yesterday, simply really on just China news, and then you already spoke about Roku. So Facebook and NVIDIA primarily is what I'll be keeping an eye on outside of the other ones on the gappers we've already discussed.
All right, excellent. Yeah, Roku is we're gonna add Roku on here because it's been so active. It does have the volume, guys, just doesn't have the 2% plus or minus. It's pretty flat right now. I mean, this thing just has ran up. I think it has only put in since early August, right? What, 3? Maybe that's a break even. Maybe 4 red days. Everything else has been green on this stock. So again, it's just been pretty crazy. Maybe another one here. So Roku is pretty active this morning already. 161,000 shares traded. It's kind of going red to green here in the pre-market. So definitely worth taking a look at. All right, let's get to what you guys have on your end. So LTP we talked about. So let's see if did it get fixed. Either way, it's not one that we're going to look at today. Lulu we have, that looks good. RKD, yeah, guys, just be very careful. Again, that's a low flow stock, so be very, very careful if you're trading that today or if you've been looking at it. Next, what do we have? BABA. So Peter's looking at BABA today. So BABA is buying NTES. No signs of activity yet, says Peter. So here, BABA has a good daily though. I don't like trading BABA. I don't like the way it trades, but this daily here, it's breaking out of this resistance right on here, right? So it kind of tested it again yesterday. I mean, look how great this support, I mean, I'm sorry, resistance line is working. The previous day closed really right on it. It's slightly above it. Does have some volumes, not up as much, pretty choppy right now, but it looks like it just wants to get going here, and you do have some areas you can aim for. LPT. So Cindy, LPT, this one is a realty stock, it's a real estate stock, and right now DAS is not showing correct data on it. I'm only have 1 day anyway. So again, it's also there's some talks about it a public offering,
It's
so
a
not really.
secondary, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
secondary offering as
so
well.
not really tradable anyway. TLR could be the reason why that's causing some of that issue there. TLRY here, see what this is up to. This is a $300 to $100 stock in 1 day, couple of minutes.
And back, don't forget about the and back
Yeah,
part.
and back. That's right, and back. So TRY this morning, not much activity happening here, guys. Has been having a couple of green days, but again, this is to me this is a garbage stock. I don't trust it. Be very careful even looking at this thing. I mean, it's just you never know. And the swings are what's the ATR? ATR still got to be fairly high on this. TLRY. Oops, can't type today. There we go. Oh, not that bad too, but well, for $30 stock, $2 is pretty decent. So next, what do we have? GDX this morning. So this one's got some volume. This looks like a ETF. What is this? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a goal.
That's what it is. Gold ETF. Yeah. So yeah, not really tradable, guys. TVIX. Yeah, volatility index is one of those things that.
Those are tradable. It just that what we focus on specific strategies and such. I mean, and you've seen Andrew, for instance, trade TVIX recently. So it is, and Brian trades them all the time, Nugget, Dust, stuff like that. But we just, we focus primarily on actual, common stock of companies and not ETFs and such. So just wanted to clarify that.
No, yeah, that's a good clarification. Anything on here is tradable. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I believe our strategies, right, the stuff that we're teaching and doing every day. For example, it doesn't work on TVIX. Like I won't go into TVIX me personally and try to do it like I don't know, opening range breakout, or ABCD pattern. Like I wouldn't look for that on TVIX or gold, right? Now Brian is great at trading nugget in these things. Make sure you check out his book as well, because he does some swing trades on those also. So check out his book on Amazon, how to swing trade. And also, if you have not signed up for his alerts for swing trading, make sure you do that as well. And he's very selective. I love if you look at his results, he's very selective on what he swings trades. He's not out there, just taking anything. He'll go some days without not taking any trade until he finds that right setup, which is giving him a really good return on investment. So, all right, guys. So this is what we have. Let's look one more here. VNG. I'm sorry, VNQ. Not much going on. No volume at the moment. It looks like those is a real on this one as well. All right, guys. So let's get into some announcements, and then we'll get into some support and resistance levels. Let's bring our slide up here. Here we go.
I just wanted to note SPY's getting some heavy down volume at the moment. I just caught the flickering of level 2 on the side of my eye there.
The lights.
Got to. I thought you would change this while we were doing it. You must not have saved it yesterday.
Oh, I didn't save it. Yeah.
So don't forget, guys. We have put out the Mike Bellafiore interview on YouTube. It was released on Wednesday. If you have not seen it, go watch it, or go watch it over the weekend. It runs about an hour and a minute. It is well worth the hour you will spend with it, or break it up in chunks. He's the author of a couple of amazing books, One Good Trade and the Playbook. He talks a lot about things that he mentions in those books. He talks about how professional traders, prop traders trade compared to your retail traders like us, and what we can learn to gain from their experience and knowledge. So it's really a phenomenal interview, phenomenal discussion. Hope you guys enjoy it. And Go take a look when you get a chance. DAS is running their second #1 best trader competition, started on Monday, so this is the end of the first week. You can go to onebesttrader.com and check that out. They have a live leaderboard. You can actually see what the leaders or anybody in the competition is trading. It updates in real time. It's a cool functionality to watch. We're well represented with BBT there. And then Bearable Traders was honored to be nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards in the Best Financial Literacy category. If you enjoy our content, we would sincerely appreciate your vote. You can vote one time per day per device. ABL has posted links to that. It takes about 2 seconds, so thank you in advance. Meetups coming up. We've got Bay Area Meetup tomorrow. Information, ABL's linked and is in the forum. And then New York City, September 21st, Dr. Brett Steenbarger. That is a free event, but you have to register and get a ticket. We will be sending out venue information to the ticket holders here when we get closer to the event, so about a week or so. And we look forward to seeing everybody there. It's going to be Andrew, William, Carlos, Ryan, and myself. I believe for sure that'll be there, and not sure if we might have one or two other people. We might have a guest speaker as well, so it'd be really awesome to see you guys there. It'll be awesome to see you guys there. Labor Day discount that'll expire this weekend. Promo code is LABOR. It's 30% off lifetime, so if you're looking to take advantage of that, you can still use that code for another couple of days until it goes away. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, you've never been in the room, but you want to come check out the room, watch us trade live, see what the community is about, you can use the discount code PREMARKET24, PREMARKET24, to get a discount for a 1-week trial that does not auto-renew. You know, we think our room is great, but at the same time, we know it's not for everybody. So we would welcome you to come check it out and see what you think. And then also, we are proud to support Traders for a Cause. If you're not familiar with who they are, they're tied to some really big name companies and traders, a number of brokers, a number of prop firms and such. And we got a connection to them, and we are proud to be a part of it. So they have their annual big charity event in October coming up. I know it involves the weekend of the 12th. So, but it's a 4-day event. And if you use the promo code Bearable VIP at checkout on their site, it'll save you $250 off tickets. So really great cause. You can see all of the proceeds go to charity. You can see what charities they helped in the past, and that's what I've got for now.
All right, excellent, guys. Let's get into it, folks. I see some questions on the YouTube chat. So yeah, this is Trade Idea, guys. This is not Dash Trader Pro. So it's a separate application that we put on here where we get our gap risk list. And then here's our watch list so far. Obviously, we have to fine tune it. So we're going to go in through here and find some support and resistance levels and pick about 6 really good ones that we like this morning. Let's start with DOCU. So DOCU obviously will be on our list. Nice, beautiful gap, 23%. As we mentioned, it's on top of that range that Norm was talking about earlier on the daily. If you go back, let's get some levels for this. So high of our pre-market sitting right at 58 on the dot. Low of the pre-market sitting right at 56.12. So if we just go back here, we do have this area right here around 54. So I'm going to mark that down because obviously you could clearly see support and resistance over the last couple of months in there. Above this 57.97, we do have a beautiful pop over here to 59.65. So I'll mark that down as well. And I think that's pretty good level so far at the moment. I don't see anything else above 59.60. 65, and then towards the bottom, if we decide to close this gap, if we are going south today, below this 54.82, maybe we can find another clean level on here. I'm not seeing many, but this one seems to stick out quite a bit. It's far down, 52.12. You can clearly see the resistance here, the support, and going across several days, just bouncing back from that 52.12. I don't see anything very clean in here. When you don't see something clean that sticks right out, or you can clearly see the support happening, it's probably not the strongest level. For example, here you can put this one, you can put 53, you can put this one up here. So it's too many on there. I'm just going to leave at 52. I think that's the strongest level between 54.82 and 52.12. So we'll see, bouncing back again from this low of the pre-market at 56.13. Stuck within this range right now. We'll see what we can get out of that at the open. TN AV also seems to still be stuck in this range we talked about earlier, between 7 and 640. So high of the pre-market sitting at 704. Your low of your pre-market sitting at 630. So we'll mark this down here. And again, this thing had a huge day yesterday, huge drop. This move actually happened, if we go back on our 5 minutes, happened around 10:15 or so. That's when it started. Some news probably broke out, and you can see the huge drop here all the way down to $6. I mean, dropping almost half. This thing was trading at almost $12, $11, down to 6 something. So huge drop there. We could expect some type of continuation today out of this. We do have shares for sure. It has been on short selling. It is on short selling restriction. Also, it has been halted as well. What is the float on this one again? I think I missed it. TNAV. I don't think it's a low float. Yes, 35 million shares float. ATR 77 cents. So again, it's a lower price. You still want to be careful with the number of shares you take, but this definitely is a good one to watch today. So below the 635, you do have your previous day close, but you also want to be on the lookout for this whole dollar number 6. I'm going to mark down 6 on here. Again, that's going to be an area where we can lose some momentum. Just want to go back to see if we have anything towards the top or bottom that's significant that we should mark on our list. And if I zoom into this area between April and May of this year, you can see that 704, how that has some areas that has been tested. 631 as well. 631, you have it here. You have your 6 as well. So I think we have quite a bit of a moving average levels that we need already on this one. So I think we're good there. Next, we have Lulu. So Lulu has a good pre-market activity, guys. Some good volume, up 5.3 with 306,000 shares traded. High of your pre-market sitting at around 297. Your low sitting at 196. So we'll mark those two down. And this is, I believe, yeah, all-time high on this one. So there's no other levels towards the top and nothing really towards the bottom into this this over here, 194.45. So that's really all you have. Then below that, you can see obviously previous day close and such forth. So again, not much levels to add on this one on Lulu, but it's definitely one to look at today. It looks very strong. It's got a good pre-market activity with some very good volume. CRWD, guys. So this is one that again doesn't trade very well. If I have more than 6, this is probably the one I would drop. Again, it could just be very choppy. As far as levels towards the top, you have plenty, guys. You have highs and lows from the last 2 trading days here. Previous day close. You have a moving average also coming into this area around 85. But I am going to mark down 84.76. You have this date over here, several days opening and closing around that area. So 84.76 will be the level I'll have between there. Then towards the bottom, low of our pre-market sitting right at 77.77. And what else do we have towards the bottom? So you can see 77.77 also right here, got some resistance as well. And then towards the bottom, the best clean level that I see is this 75.06. So that is what we have so far in CRWD. Not really a fan of this one. The way the daily chart is, just seems very choppy. So most likely I probably will drop this one off. DOMO has a beautiful drop, guys, down 34% this morning. As Norm mentioned, they cannot explain what their business actually is, and obviously that's not a good thing. Low of your pre-market sitting at 1510. Your high sitting at 1675. So we'll keep those on there. Let's go back. We have a beautiful gap here. I don't think we'll cover that today, but anything's possible. All right, so here around late last year, we do have in some areas of support and resistance, and the price was hanging around this range around $16 where we're at now. If we lose this 15, the next one, the nice clean one down here is 13.37. You can see how beautiful that beautiful bounce off 13.37 back up to 15. Above the 15, we have our pre-market high 16.75. You can also see how 16.75 played a beautiful role around this time frame. And then towards the top, we do have an area right here. I like this one. This is very clean. You can clearly see it. It's 20.37. You see how that was resistance. Retest of the support, resistance one more time before the breakout, comes back and tests it again. Again, that 2037 is very clean. Very far out from where the price action is at now, so I am going to be looking out for 18 and 19 as well, those whole dollar numbers. I'm not going to mark them down here, but I will be on the lookout for those. And actually, 17. Yeah, 18. You can see 18 has clear line right there of support and resistance, and also 19. So that's plenty of levels for the OMO today. Roku, let's see what Roku is up to. So Roku is kind of giving some back a bit today. Gave a lot back yesterday, but did bounce back nicely. Right now going red to green in the pre-market. I'm just going to remove these levels, get some clean stuff out here. You can see your high of all time sitting at, what's that, 169, maybe 170 on the dot. And then you have your highs and lows there. You have your pre-market high pretty much in that area as well. Previous day close where price action is right on it now. Low of the pre-market, which I'm going to mark, or 165.30, and then below that you really have just the lows from the last 2 trading days. Again, you also have this nice moving average coming down here. I don't think we'll test that today unless we have a massive sell-off, but overall this stock has been really strong, so I'll definitely be looking out for that. So Nvidia, good possible. I'm gonna keep this one out as my possible here, as well as Facebook. So these two I'll be looking out later in the mid-morning to see if anything breaks out of that. RKDA, guys, I'm just not even going to watch it. This is nasty. You don't want to be involved in this type of stocks. We have some really good stuff up here that's moving that we don't need to be risking our dollars on that. Let's remove the SPY from here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, perfect. We have 6. That's exactly what we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like more. All right. Okay, so what else you guys have? Anything that we have not covered? Domo or low float? I didn't check. What's the float on Domo?
22 million.
No, it's a lower float. It's a lower float than what we usually watch, right? But it's not a low float. I think it's tradable. This is well, anything's tradable. I want to say it's not as risky in the, what's the ATR, $1.26. So not too bad. But again, it's moving a lot, guys. Don't get fooled. These candles, again, we're going from 16 to 1640. This is 1638. So it has a very big range, especially today. It's going to have a bigger range with the drop. So you still want to manage your risk properly, right? But I don't think this is one that's going to drop on you like a RKDA or, one of those other stocks that just move wild. All right, so let's look at Grub, GRUB. Oops, too many U's. All right, this one, yeah. So this one has a nice daily. Seems to have found a bottom here around 55. Nice double bottom, nice little pop coming back up to that 60. Daily's great. It's up 5%, guys, but it just has no volume at all. But again, this could be one that you could put on your possible list, or also look out for it on your turbo breakup scanner if it can get going here. So the daily looks like it's into a nice little bounce back here, so that's good. But just the volume is not there. But I see you're looking at me here. This looks good. This looks good. This looks like it wants to get going here. VRNT. No volume, guys. Here had a big day, big red day yesterday. Opened up, tried to bounce, and it just dropped even lower. But not much going on at the moment. GCO, same here. Nice pop, 16%. These are good to watch. 16%. I mean, that's a big move. It just needs to get some volume, obviously, but yeah, that's a good one to watch. That's a secondary to have on your secondary list. Maybe what you could do is also, this is your main list, right? Or whatever your main list is going to be, whether you're watching 4, 3, whatever number of stocks you're watching. If you go in here and you look at yesterday, we had some stocks that didn't move well. I forgot which one it was, but I took it off my list and added something else. So if you have your list set up and you're seeing that, okay, TNAV is not getting the volume, it's looking horrible, spread is nasty, remove that one, and then you can take one of your possibles, right, and then move it into that spot. So you can have your possible list down here. You can easily do that. Also later on, after an hour after the open, you can start looking at those other ones that looked pretty decent. Zoom not doing much, guys. Really choppy. Wow, this is a horrible daily chart too, man. This thing has been just stuck in this range, not really going anywhere for the last couple of days, all of August really. QURE. Norm, if you see something interesting, also feel free to hop on and let me know. QURE is had a big drop yesterday, but not much going on right now, guys. Starting to get some volume though. This might have come up in our list. Oh, this should be. Yeah, it's already on here. All right, so QURE is already on the gappers list. But again, I just don't see anything too crazy. Had a very big day yesterday. Some good volume there. This could be a good possible, guys. I'm gonna throw it on here. This could be a good possible. It's starting to get some volume. Okay, all right. Peter says, Grub is usually hard to trade most days. Yeah, it's a tough stock to trade. I agree. All right, so what else we have, guys? Facebook. Yeah, Facebook we have as possible. So Facebook is on here. Again, it has the look as if it wants to break out of this prior level of resistance, right? It's right on there. You can see how you kind of got several bounces back, kind of crawling its way up. Had a good day yesterday, then good day before that. Giving some back a big here. You got some volume on 108,000 shares traded, so it could be a good possible to break out towards the top. But also, Norm mentioned there's some negative news on Facebook, so you might be getting a pullback here. So some negative news that came out yesterday on this, so we'll have to see how that plays out. All right, guys, so this is what we have. This is our list, so let's just go through it one more time. DOCU, so I like this one's good volume. Stuck within this range right now. Seems a bit choppy, but again, I think that's just the way this stock trades. They got some positive pop here, 22%. This is worth having on your list. So I'm going to be looking for a good opening range break up or breakdown on this one, but I'm going to wait, guys, because it could be very, very choppy at the open. TNAV also, again, just seems very choppy right now, stuck within this 7 to 630 range. Had a huge drop yesterday. We can get some continuation today. Not sure what this thing is going to do, so just be careful with the number of share size. As you can see, this is a lower price stock. So you want to be careful with the number of shares you take on here. Lulu has a great pre-market activity, up 4.8 this morning on some good news. I do like the pop here. We are all-time high as well, so I'm sure there'll be some profit taken. And anybody sitting here that holding this from 175, 177, 180, they're waking up this morning and are feeling really happy on a Friday. So we got to wait see how those guys react and then see if we can catch an opportunity. CRWD, this is one that's not my favorite really, guys. Pre-market activity seems pretty choppy. It's got some volume, down 6.9, but it just seems very funky, and I think it trades a little choppy. So I'm going to be extra careful. This is one of my least favorite this morning. DOMU, this one I'm looking forward to see what we're going to get at the open as well. Some good volume, down 35%, so that's nice. And then we have Roku, which has been on a tear. Looks like it's trying to sell off here pre-market. But again, do not be short bias on this stock. Has been so strong. I mean, it is really putting a lot of green days. Even yesterday with this sell-off, it comes right back. So again, just be very careful with trying to short Roku. Nvidia had a big day yesterday, so that'll be a good possible. Facebook as well, and also QUR starting to get some volume. This could be a good possible as well. All right, guys, that is what we have. All right, I'm seeing Twitter. Let's look at Twitter. What's going on with Twitter? TWTR. Twitter had a big day yesterday as well. Not doing much at the moment. We could get a good continuation day if this thing gets going and gets strong. So that could be a good possible as well. All right, guys. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Today is Friday, finishing up the first week of September. So trade safe today. I want to make sure you go into the weekend feeling good, that you follow your rules, that you were disciplined, and enjoy some time with the family before we get back to it on Monday. So trade safe, and we'll see you Monday, 8:30 Eastern time.
Thanks, guys. Trade safe, be smart, have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning.